Here's a story on the most interesting World Cup qualification moment that you've probably never heard about. Iran and Australia faced off in a battle for the ages for a spot at the 1998 World Cup. Both teams hadn't made it to the World Cup for 20 years or more at that point, so the fans were eager for qualification. To the point where the first leg was packed with 128,000 fans at the Azadi Stadium in Tehran. Australia coach Terry Venables, who actually was very skeptical about Iran, told his players go directly out onto the pitch, not to the dressing room, and soak the pressure in from now. And I mean, it worked because Australia opened the scoring. Harry Kewell silenced 128,000 people. But that would be short-lived, as 20 minutes later, Khodadat Azizi would send the stadium into a frenzy to equalize. 1-1 onto the second leg. In Australia, more than 85,000 fans would be watching the game. I mean, this was insane, man. So when Harry Kewell opened the scoring again, you best believe the stadium was absolutely buzzing. Just as the second half opened, Vidmar added the second, and Australia were on their way to the World Cup. Australia continued to dominate to the point where people were like, pack your bags, mate, and get to France. But then suddenly the tide shifted. Did something tectonic happen in the universe? The Australia we knew for the first 75 minutes disappeared. The defense looked like a bunch of headless chickens. Iran take advantage of that and score in the 75th minute. 2-1 for Australia. Suddenly, Iran are now just one goal away from qualifying on away goals. And then 4 minutes later, Iran make it 2-2. And I think the most interesting image from that is Iran's coach Valdeir Vieira just smoking a cigarette in the midst of 85,000 fans going like, what? Australia had just bottled their chance to go to France. Maybe there was one more chance. In the final attempt of the game, they send the cross into the box and it's headed towards the net. But it was saved by Ahmed Reza Abedzad. One moment that could have changed the course of football history. Iran qualified for the World Cup and Australia stay home. Iran showed the world that it doesn't matter how many minutes you dominate in the game, it's about when you take your chances. And had that not happened, well, we would have never gotten that historic USA versus Iran match at the World Cup in 1998, huh?